Hey everybody, this is John for MTG Nexus doing a little bit of live streaming with a donation deck list from one of our YouTube viewers here on Twitch. We are currently doing a Bant mid-range control deck by one of our viewers, Space Marine, over on YouTube, and he is also Dreadbore here on Twitch. It's a very interesting take on the deck. I've seen some of these snow decks popping up. My one concern is the lack of early interaction, because outside of Path to Exile, you really don't have too many one-mana plays. Arkham's Astrolabe is just kind of a cantrip, obviously, fairly nice to kind of get things off the ground, but is problematic in terms of not much interaction. But that is one of the risks of running blue-white control-based things in the format. With the addition of green, you do get things like Icefang Coatl, Oko, obviously both of which are extremely powerful cards. He's also choosing to run Tarmogoyf, which I'm not sure how powerful Tarmogoyf will be in this particular shell, given the fact that it is not the most easy to turn on, probably easy to get lands in play, maybe instants in the graveyard, but beyond that you're kind of lacking sorceries, so I think oftentimes Tarmogoyf is going to be stuck as a 3-4 depending on what your opponent's putting all in their graveyard. Beyond that, just kind of your usual tempo control shells. You're using things like Force of Negation, Cryptic Command. Want to have Ojtai as a command to get some value with your Tarmogoyfs, Snapcaster Mages, and Icefang Coatls to try to control the early game until your Planeswalkers can start taking over in the form of Oko, Jace, and Teferi. So you've got a multi-pronged attack. Some counter spells in the form of Mana Leak, Force, and Cryptic. And then beyond that, the Tension Sphere is kind of your catch-all. We are a little bit light on lands compared to some control decks, but with the added cantripping of Arkham's Astrolabe and Icefang Coatl, it's a little less relevant to be running a ton of like 25, 26 lands like some of the blue-white control decks do outside of running things like Opt and Serum Visions. So you have built-in cantrips into your 2-for-1s here. Prismatic Vista, kind of here the preferred fetch land over some of the other lands. This allows you to fetch all your various snow lands. Snow lands, of course, being important to be able to cast Astrolabe on 1. Beyond that, you've got 4 copies of Flooded Strand as your other fetch lands. Allows you to get out your dual lands in the deck, notably Breeding Pool and Hallowed Fountain. No copies of Temple Garden, but this is primarily a blue-based deck, so that makes sense. And beyond that, Field of Ruin and Celestial Colony, and kind of rounding out your land base. As far as the sideboard, in Bant colors, you've got a myriad of different things. You have Dovin's Vetoes and Disdainful Strokes for different situations where you need more counter magic. Veto, obviously good in any situation you want negates. Disdainful Stroke, pretty good in any situations where you're playing against big mana things, the control mirrors, any type of amulet decks, or Tron and such. Supreme Verdict and Wrath of God when you need to go a little bit more controlling against the creature decks. Veil of Summer is an interesting one. This can help protect your threats to a certain degree. Give you some early play against discard. Also can be pretty good in control mirrors, potentially, keeping your stuff uncounterable. Pulse of Marasa, kind of a grindy card slash life gain for things like Burn. Also can be pretty decent in the mirror when you're trying to recover threats. This combined with Snapcaster Mage can give you a nice little Kolagun's command-esque loop. Beyond that, Celestial Purge as additional removal spells. Can't help but think we should be running something else, but Celestial Purge is pretty good in a lot of matchups. And a couple copies of Rest in Peace for any type of graveyard-based shenanigans. Feels like we're missing a card here, so let me check the original deck list. And hopefully Space Marine did not send me a 14-card sideboard. Control. 2 Veils. 1 Thragdad. That is the other card that some reason does not like to pop up in these things. This obviously good as a mid-range threat, and obviously good in spots where you need more life gain out of your sideboard. So that is the list. It should be interesting to see how something like Oko does in this kind of control shell. I've seen some people playing the snow control decks. I've played against a couple times with, I'm primarily a burn player in Modern, but I've seen it played against us a few times. It's quite interesting, but beyond that, should be interesting to get this into a league, and at least get a few of the matches played. So, don't know that we'll get through completely through the league tonight, but at least get this rolling. Like I said, the one concern I have with blue-white base control that's not running either Jeskai colors or Esper colors is the fact that your lack of early interaction for creatures specifically. Been playing a lot of Historic and Pioneer lately, so it's a little bit awkward to go back to Modern sometimes, especially playing control decks. Kind of hard sometimes to, reconcile the speed of the formats playing control decks. So, be on the play here, which is nice. Because like I said, our interaction doesn't necessarily line up the best always. Sure, put a good luck. This hand's pretty decent. We get to go tap land into Tarmogoyf potentially, so we could potentially be on the front foot here. There is some consideration for me to play a Flooded Strand out early, but I think I just want to get the tap land down. Just get that rolling. Once Upon a Time, so maybe Amulet. Amulet or Tron, either way, probably not the best situation to be in here. Oh, no, some type of Eldrazi list. So blue-green Drazi. Alright, that's a pretty good one. Now I don't have to do the awkward fetch shock with Flooded Strand, so hopefully we don't get hit by TKS here. Okay, so Thought-Knot Seer not likely here. Let's see what these blue-green Eldrazi lists are running here. Another copy of Once Upon a Time, huh? Alright, Thought-Knot Seer, mildly annoying. Drazi Tron, blue-green Drazi. Nothing terribly interesting. This down, play that out. Fortunately, Snapcaster Mage was a little ill-timed here. Sure. Really don't want to fetch shock here, but I do want to retain the ability to play Cryptic Command on a future turn potentially, so I think I'm just supposed to get Hallowed Fountain here. Take the 2 and like it. Fortunately, we're accelerating them into Reality Smasher next turn. Interesting which one they take here. Probably have to take Snapcaster Mage, right? Potentially just use Teferi to tuck the Reality Smasher. Yep. Also likely could have Stubborn Denial up here. So I could use this as a surprise blocker. Is that just what I'm supposed to do? Could obviously cantrip and hit either a snap or a path and get this game over quicker, but interesting to see if they have path here. Looks like the answer is yes. That is a very, very, very greedy set of mana from our opponent. They're really playing 3-color Bant Eldrazi. I haven't seen that in a while, even with Once Upon a Time. Okay, another Reality Smasher. Yep. Alright, D-Sphere's not bad. Feel like I'm supposed to counter that. Obviously, if they top deck another Smasher, I'm pretty much dead either way, so there's no sense in playing around that. Another Reality Smasher. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Yep, it's kind of hard to beat that nonsense. Like I said, could have left. Could have left Tarmogoyf back, but we're buying maybe a turn. So, definitely interested in Thragdad, definitely interested in the Wrath effects. Probably interested in Stroke, even though it's not fantastic should they happen to find copies of... So, Oko could be in their list. The problem becomes is with the third color, how likely are they to have Oko? That part I'm not really sure on. Probably shave it to Fairy, a Jace. At least 1 or 2 copies of Force of Negation. They aren't fantastic in the matchup. Oko can be reasonable. Cryptic Command can be reasonable. Like, the problem becomes is most of our tools are our counter spells, and what we really need is removal spells. And yeah, we have the 3 Wraths, but it feels like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm supposed to shave a Cryptic Command here. Try it like that. Guess I'd like to play first. If we could guarantee a second land, I think this hand would be fine with the Coatls, but I don't think we can do that. This hand's fine-ish. Probably put back Snow-Covered Island itself. Like, I guess we can hope they don't have a 1 mana play, but with Once Upon a Time, I feel like their deck's a whole lot better getting 1 mana plays. Drowsy Temple, kind of annoying. Yep. Hopefully we can counter whatever they play here. Hopefully they just jam Reality Smasher. Or not Reality Smasher, Thought Nazi here. I still think either way we're supposed to counter this, because we're going to be Okoing this turn. Am I about to get hit by a Veil of Summer? I feel like I'm about to get hit by a Veil of Summer. Alright, well, I mean... just jam Oko here and hope for the best, I guess. Could make that into a 3-3, but if they have a Reality Smasher, Oko survives anyway. Thought Nazi is probably going to have to take Detention Sphere as is. Yowza. Yeah, they really seem to be holding up Veil of Summer here, so... Yep. Card is so obnoxious in so many formats. Funny part is, Veil is like only good against our counter spells, which are already subpar because of Cavern of Souls, depending on how many they have. Because like it doesn't stop Path, which is our primary removal spell. So I need to somehow hit land and Wrath off the top in the same spot. That's not happening. Life's good, War Dog. How have you been? Playing one of Space Marines piles, so running into... See, I used to play Bant Eldrazi a lot back in the day, and yeah, now we're pretty much 1000% dead. So I need to path this into... I don't even know what bails us out here. Okay, I mean, that's potentially a thing if they don't have another Veil of Summer. So, theoretically, we have a chance. Yeah, I bet. I've been busy. Very, very busy. I'm finishing up my last class in grad school. Reconnected with an old significant other that when we were teenagers, so if they have Path, we're dead here. Beyond that, there's really not a whole lot we can do. So I've been doing that, doing this. So, looking for a job in accounting. So, been very, 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 very busy. I may have to revisit Bant Eldrazi, because this deck seems to have gotten a lot better with Once Upon a Time and such. Noble Hierarch, sure. So we're going to 1 here. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Because even if I gain 3... Yeah, I screwed up. I should have actually turned that into a 3-3, I think. That would have been less damage. But I think we were still dead either while. Yeah, and it made the control decks a lot worse, and the control decks already weren't good in Modern. So... guess this is make a food, hope our opponent goofs. I mean... so I can go to 4, go back down to 3 to cast Oko. Make a 3-3 and then we're still dead. Yeah, we're just dead here. Kind of rough, but... in the battle of 2 mid-range decks, I think Bant Eldrazi is kind of favored in these situations. So... and once again, my consistent problem with blue-white control in the format is always the lack of good removal beyond Path to Exile. And, I don't know. I don't know that Tarmogoyf is where you want to be in this situation. Like, I applaud Space Marine for trying something different, but I can't help but feel, that something closer to either Stoneforge Mystic is a better threat, or playing something closer to the other Bant Snow lists, like Supreme Verdict and stuff in the main, playing 4 Coatl, 3 or 4 Snapcaster. So we're on the play, but this mana is terrible. The hand's clunky. Have no interaction outside of D-Sphere. I think that's a mole. Alright, I can work with this. We are missing a white source here. Yeah, I don't know. It's Space Marine's list, man. You know he makes me the guinea pig. I think I just put back Jace here. I say, you know Space Marine makes me the guinea pig in a lot of these situations. So I wonder if we're actually up against someone playing Blue-White Miracles. Hey, that name is severely misleading. I mean, I think we get a Tarmadoof down here and start trying to pressure them. I think we're kind of... yeah, Tarmogoyf just feels... why didn't they crack there? Oh, okay. They're Eldrazi-tron. That makes mild sense, I guess. I mean, that at least fixes our mana issue, right? Tarmogoyf still does nothing, unfortunately. And our opponent's gonna have Tron mana, so we're like... yeah. This mana leak's gonna look really, really sad. Unless they try to jam Ugin or something. Sure. Matter Shaper. Don't even remotely care about that card. Still think I'm supposed to path it, but... I completely agree, Rosnator, but this was a viewer of mine from YouTube's list, so... I even said when I was talking about the deck tech that I thought it was comparatively wrong, but his list, he wanted me to try it out, so... But I completely agree. It should be Brazen Borrower, Click, even Stoneforge Mystic, I think is just better. One, two. Really? They are really, really playing hard around Mana Leak. I think we just take the opportunity to play the tap land. Actually, that was a mistake. I needed to play Prismatic Vista there. Actually, playing the land was incorrect. Because that would have made Goyf into a 3-4. I was thinking about preserving my life total, but... Dismember, sure. Question is how high did they push it? Looks like they're gonna try to blow Detention Sphere. I have to keep that Goyf around as much as possible. Oh, man. Oh, so not fair. Just when Goyf's starting to be relevant, they draw Scavenger Grounds. Oh, man. Sure. I don't really think they can afford to play Bog. Kind of weird how the templating of that leads to it going to the graveyard. Or being exiled because of the trigger going after it hits the graveyard. I don't know. I think I'm just supposed to take this particular hit. Not that I'm actually countering anything, mind you, but... I'm about to get Ulamogged. Walking Ballista. Should have hit Mana Leak there first. Yeah, not Mana Leaking, that was a mistake. Now I have to leave this Tarmogoyf back to live for a turn. Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just... find it interesting that... How many cantrips are we gonna get? If they're smart, they'll sacrifice this expedition map first. I mean, I guess they could theoretically blow up Teferi next turn. So... I think they have enough mana here, right? So Teferi became a very expensive tuck effect? Once again, a couple mistakes this game could cost me. Had the ability to mana leak the whatchamacallit, the Walking Ballista, and then still have Cryptic Command to fog the Reality Smasher for a turn. So really, why would you fetch away Reality Smasher? Sure. Why wouldn't you Chalice on 1 there? That seems really bizarre. I guess they're really afraid of Coatl and such? Stop tapping mana. Endbringer. Yeah, sure. Yep, that's gonna be too much to overcome. What you got there, friend? Did you forget about your own chalice there, friend? Alright. After tons of mistakes, we move on to our loss. So, Thragdad, Wrath effects, Disdainful Strokes, Pulse could potentially be fine, and Force of Negations for the most part can go out. These mana leaks seem pretty terrible. I guess on the play they might be fine. Jace doesn't seem great. Teferi doesn't seem fantastic. It's just supposed to get rid of Force. Actually, am I though? Because Chalice is such a pain in the hind end. Like, maybe with Oko and Detention Sphere it's not such a big deal, but... an Ojutai's command here. Yeah, Sand's fine. Quaddle seems reasonable. Sure. But yeah, I generally do agree Tarmogoyf is like the only thing in this build that and then the severe number of... Anybody ready for a Thought Knots here? Guessing we're going to lose Detention Sphere here. Take Astrolabe. Alright. Does feel like I'm maybe not supposed to be attacking here in case they have Reality Smasher. Yeah, that one's annoying. 1, 2, 3. And they only have access to 2 mana. That's good to know. Lattice. Their Mind Stone. That was a mistake. How many mistakes can I keep missing this? Yep, can't tap this, so I should have played an untapped white source. Now we die to Lattice. This isn't going to buy us a ton of time, but at least it buys us some time here. Can we stop drawing lands, please? Do they have one? Okay. Surprised they're not charging up thing to pop for... Try to free Karn there. Yeah, Reshaper, sure. Deal with Ballista here. Go on to one here. Okay, exactly how much are you trying to charge it? Sure. Are we like having a... Who can screw up the most off? Like, legitimately here. I don't want to get blown out by Dismember, so I'm just going to tap or counter return. Enjoy. Draw another land, because why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, come on. Yep. Alright, that was fun. I think we'll play one more match tonight before I gotta call it an early night. But, yeah, that was definitely some punts on my part in Game 1, which might have cost us a chance to win. It just doesn't feel like, this were like, if we had an Astrolabe or something, I think this hand would be keepable, but I think as is, double island's just not keepable. This hand's perfectly reasonable. Put back just a covered island, I guess. So I think we just continue to draw lands. Okay. Am I supposed to path this guy? I think so. I mean, if we can hit a third and fourth land drop, or a fourth land drop, I think we'll be in okay shape. Main deck Saheeli, you say? How about if I hit my no button? You know, I said I wanted another 5-drop. I think that's what I said. I said I wanted another 5-drop, right? Like, I didn't want any more lands. I just wanted another 5-drop for Christmas. Sure. Light up the stage? Nope, no light up the stage? Alright, sure. I mean, it's a fourth land. I guess I should be thankful there, right? Alright, not terrible, not terrible. Alright, I mean, we're getting there. This is one of the few spots Tarmogoyf looks reasonable. Feels bad, man. Is this the point where you concede? Oh, couldn't leave that right on top. And then our opponent's just dead. Alright. So, Purge, pretty decent here. Veto, maybe? Pulse, pretty decent. Thragtusk, okay. Some amount of sweepers might be okay. Huh. Probably shave a Jace, probably shave a Tef. Probably shave a Force. D-Sphere might be a little slow. But I still think we want all the spot removal we can get. We'll shove one D-Sphere and... like, Cryptic Command's okay, but once again, we're playing against a very... 1, 2, 3, 4... Still think we leave those in just to have some answers to our wonderful, wonderful friend. Bedlam Reveler, which is how they get back into the game. it crazy to shave a Coatl here? Yeah, I like Prowess 2 a lot, War Dog, but I still like I still struggle with it sometimes, man. I mean, this hand could be okay. Like, I think we're supposed to keep this hand, but I think it's on the lower end of keepable. It's kind of funny, these are only like 2 or 3 of whatever I have left. We're about to get Kiln Fiended. Yep. I think I just let them unload their hand and then try to jump block with, or trade with Snapcaster Mage. Yep. Lava Dart is annoying though. Lava Dart's like the worst card we could see here. Yep. And now we die. I mean, it's really easy to be results oriented and say I should have cut more of the top end or I should have mulliganed that hand. But I think there's a good number of good draws there that, like, this hand's the opposite problem, right? Like, we have no lands, can't cast Arachrom's Astrolabe. If this were like a snow-covered island or one of our various fetch lands, I think this hand's keepable, but I think it's too big of a risk. Once again, this hand is risky, but I think we keep, get rid of Field of Ruin. Hopefully Mana Leak will be enough to buy us a turn or two. This will probably be the crazy 1-drop draw that we can't beat. There's no guarantee they'll cast in their spell, so may as well do the thing. Yep. So, like, I my basic plays are either play Tarmogoyf and hope that's enough here, or hold up Ojutai's command and hope they don't have a bunch of non-creature spells. The upside of playing Tarmogoyf here is if they kill the Goyf, we can get back the following turn with Ojutai's command. The upside of holding Ojutai's command up here is if they're trying to unload their hand for Bedlam Reveler, we get to take that powerful threat off the table. So, I don't know. This is a tough one. Like, alternatively, I could play Jason Brainstorm, but that just kind of gives our opponent the green light to kill us. So, I think I'm just supposed to play hold up Ojutai's command and pass, but it could be correct to play Tarmogoyf here. We're behind on the board, which is part of the problem, so I think I'm going to play Goyf, but either play is certainly defensible here. One, two, three, four. Yeah, I'm just supposed to hold up Ojutai's command and or Snap Mana Leak here. I think I'm supposed to hold Tarmogoyf back this turn. Don't want to randomly die. I know that gives some information away, but you may as well use the mana, right? No, I think I'm just supposed to let this resolve. Good thing we put that on bottom. Hmm. No sense in giving them a door to get back into this game. I think we brainstorm here. Hello then. I mean, I applaud our opponent for trying, but sure. Alright, and our opponent scooped. Alright, so nice to get a win under our belt there. So quick thoughts before I wrap up tonight. Unfortunately, I don't have time to finish the other two games of the league. Tarmogoyf just feels awkward. I honestly think this has got to be either something like Vendilion Click, another Snapcaster Mage, even a Stoneforge Mystic package. It just... Tarmogoyf's very rarely going to be bigger than a 3-4. And the other issue is just the lack of additional removal. Whether it be Winds of Abandon, whether it be any of that kind of stuff. We really felt that in the Eldrazi matchups that we played. Like I said, I definitely know I punted some games in the first game against Eldrazi Tron. But that's just kind of the early takeaway here. I think Ojutai's command still plays very well with things like Stoneforge Mystic. I think Batterskull would go a long way towards closing out these games, just as much as a Tarmogoyf would. The ability to get back with Ojutai's command, I think, is fine. I think maybe going up to a third or fourth Snapcaster Mage would be fine. Beyond that, probably shave a Jace, maybe get a baby Tef in here or two. But yeah, I mean the deck's definitely a different style than the traditional control deck. I really like Icefang Coatl. I like Arkham's Astrolabe. I like a lot of what this deck's doing, but some of the finer details I'm just kind of like, eh. But anyways, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. If you'd like to hit that follow button, please do. Help this channel grow a little bit. If you'd like to see a lot of Modern and Pioneer content, please check out our YouTube page, which link is down below. And beyond that, hopefully I will be back tomorrow evening to finish up this particular league and maybe do a little bit other things. But for now, unfortunately, I need to be getting to bed. So hope everyone's had a great evening. This has been John for MTG Nexus. Hope everybody has a great night.